Hello everyone, welcome to the preview show delivered by FedEx. I'm your host, Cavanna. With me as always from NBC Sports, Marty Snider. Marty, we saw some awesome racing out in California, phenomenal. And I would expect to see the same this weekend in Martinsville.
Well, I don't know if we're going to see 7 wide, but I'll take 2 wide, you know. But I mean, yeah, I saw the race at California was fantastic. I mean, a lot of drama for the fans, obviously. They got a great race out of it. Not really what drivers and crews wanted, but I think, you know, hey, Martinsville's my home racetrack. I think we're going to see a fantastic race this weekend. I cannot wait for Sunday.
Yeah, and I can't imagine anyone who wants to get to Martinsville faster than Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie Johnson was dominating out in his home track of California until a tire issue with 7 laps to go took away his win. Marty, I'm not saying they're having a bad year, but by their standards, in 5 races, they have 0 wins and only 1 top 5. By 48 standards, that's not successful.
Well, but I think, you know, you mentioned it. For them, it's not they're not worried at all. There's no panic among the 48 team. They did everything but win the race in California. And I think by their own admission, they really didn't spend a lot of time investing in the 2014 setups and the new rules package until 2014 was here. They were worried about winning a championship. They didn't go to the December Charlotte test, and I don't think that had a huge effect on them. So I think the 48 team is fine. You look at a couple of things. Number one, they have one of their best racetracks, Martinsville, coming up this weekend. There's probably a few tracks you could throw into that category, but Martinsville clearly one of Jimmie Johnson's best racetracks. And the other thing is the new point system allows them to not worry about things. Trust me, folks, Jimmie Johnson's going to win a race in these first 26. He will be in the chase. They will be fine. Yes, it's not quite to their standards, but Jimmie Johnson is in just fine shape. Don't worry about it at all.
Yeah, and as you said, they should bounce back. So that brings us to our FedEx social pick of the week. Jimmie Johnson, the king of Martinsville. Where do you think he'll finish on Sunday? Will he get that top 5, a top 10, or will he surprise everyone and finish outside the top 10? You can vote at NASCAR.com/social. Well, a bright spot heading into Martinsville is Sprint Cup Series rookie Kyle Larson out in California. What a weekend. He won his first nationwide race, then went and finished 2nd in the Cup race, his 2nd top 10 in a row in that series. Now, Marty, Martinsville, obviously a different kind of beast, especially for a rookie. But do you get the feeling a win is coming for Kyle Larson?
I tweeted out after the race on Sunday, I said, Kyle Larson, this kid's got certainly a future, and I think he's going to be fantastic. I really consider Juan Pablo Montoya one of the most talented drivers in the world. And what he's been able to do in his first few races in that car, much better than what Juan Pablo ever did in the 42 car at all these oval tracks. And I think Kyle Larson is going to be very impressive as this year goes along. The answer to the question is yes. I see a win coming in his rookie season. I even see it coming in the first half of the season. But Martinsville's a different story. He has not had much experience at this racetrack. It's going to be a very difficult race for him this weekend. But I think picking up in the next few weeks, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him win very, very early in this season. And there'll be some learning curves. There are races coming up like at Pocono and places like that where he doesn't have a lot of experience. But I think he's going to be fine. I think he wins a race this year, and I've been impressed, if not shocked, at what he's been able to do in that car.
So maybe not this weekend for Larson, but who will win in Martinsville?
Well, I think, you know, and the question I'm surprised you haven't asked me yet is, do we see a different winner this week? 6 straight races, 6 straight different winners. And I think, yes, we see a different winner this week. And I think there's 3 guys that I look at that are very good at Martinsville. Jimmie Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Denny Hamlin. And the 3 of those guys have not won yet this season. So I think the winner comes out of that group. And I'm going to go with Jeff Gordon this week. And I think he's a little upset with what happened in California. He probably should have won that race. So should Jimmie Johnson, and so should a lot of other people won that race. But I think Jeff Gordon really should have won that race. We talk about the chances of winning a race. Jeff Gordon goes into Martinsville this weekend thinking, this is one of my best chances of the year to get a win in these first 26 races. Maybe I need to move someone out of the way. Knowing winning is more important than ever. I think Jeff Gordon does whatever it takes to win the race this weekend, put himself in the chase, and I think we do see a 6 different winner in 6 races this weekend.
I think the same. I'm going with a driver who I hope is as mad as I was last week, Jimmie Johnson. I picked Jimmie Johnson to win out in California, and then he went and broke our streak of picking winners here on the preview show. That late tire issue cost him the win out in California. And of course, he's so successful out in Martinsville. It's a pretty safe pick, I'd say, Marty, to pick Jimmie Johnson.
Very safe pick.
For Martinsville. But
although
as you
it hurt
said,
my fantasy team, I was very upset about that.
Yeah, but you know, another winner. We're going 6 for 6 this year in the Sprint Cup Series.
Right?
We
can do it.
We can do it. Okay, so Jeff Gordon, Jimmie Johnson, may the best man win. Appreciate you joining us here again.
No problem. Always a lot of fun.
All right, Marty, and thank you for joining us here on the preview show delivered by FedEx. Have a great weekend, everybody.